The acquisition of a language is not an exercise in memorizing grammar, it is the colonization of a cultural frequency. In the global landscape of English proficiency, there is a pervasive and exhausting belief that fluency is measured by speed. We are taught by traditional institutions that if we can speak rapidly, without hesitation, and with a colorful range of vocabulary, we have mastered the American standard. We are led to believe that the TOEFL is a test of how well we can mimic a native speaker's conversational flow. This belief is fundamentally incomplete. The TOEFL is not a test of language, it is a test of institutional logic. High-status American English, the kind used in the ivy-covered halls of the Academy and the boardrooms of the Federal Reserve, does not rely on speed. It relies on the syntactic lever. This is the psychological weapon of using specific anchor clauses to force the listener, in this case, your examiner, to anticipate your conclusion before you even reach it. When you use the lever, you aren't just answering a question, you are governing the cognitive load of the person listening to you. If you are still trying to sound like a native through speed, you are merely a fluent laborer. You are working for the language, rather than making the language work for you. I am Sloan, and today we resolve a second-layer riddle. Why does a candidate with a restricted vocabulary often outscore a linguist simply by utilizing subordinate suspension? The answer lies in predictive processing, and we will resolve it at the end of this hour. Let us deconstruct the architecture of authority. To be sovereign in the American TOEFL, you must move from linear to hierarchical speech. The non-Trinity scholar, the laborer, uses linear English. They state a fact, then another fact, then a conclusion. They say, the fossil was found in the wrong layer. The scientists were confused. The theory is now different. Our analysis of the non-Trinity posture reveals a complete lack of syntactic gravity. You are forcing the examiner to do the manual labor of connecting your ideas. You sound like a student reporting a mistake they don't fully understand. You are leaking logic because your sentences are independent islands. The Trinity scholar utilizes subordinate suspension. You begin with a subordinate clause that locks the listener into a specific direction, but you withhold the main point until the very end. This creates a linguistic debt that the listener is biologically compelled to see resolved. You do not say, the fossil was in the wrong layer, you say, given that the fossilized remains were recovered from a stratigraphic layer preceding the predicted era. The prevailing evolutionary timeline necessitates a comprehensive reevaluation. Notice the lever. By starting with given that, you have already signaled the cause before the effect is even uttered. You have mastered the frequency of the standardized pivot. You aren't just giving an answer, you are dictating the logic by which the answer must be understood. We call this subordinate suspension because the meaning of the sentence is suspended in the air until the final word drops. This is how you demonstrate superior level proficiency, not through the words you know, but through the structures you control. Walkthrough 1, Academic Paleontology, the Carbon Dating Anomaly. The scenario, you are in a TOEFL integrated speaking task. You must explain why a new discovery of an ancient hominid fossil has disrupted the current scientific consensus. The non-Trinity scholar speaks with subjective linearity. They say, the scientists found a new bone but it is much older than they thought. This is a problem for the theory because they didn't expect to find humans in that part of the world so early. I think they have to change the books now. Our analysis of the non-Trinity posture reveals linguistic labor. By using but and so, you are merely stacking events. You use I think and problem, which moves the interaction to the moral plane, as if the fossil is doing something wrong. You have provided no syntactic depth, which leads the examiner to categorize your English as basic rather than professional. The Trinity Scholar uses the syntactic lever. They state, inasmuch as the radiocarbon data indicates a significant chronological divergence. The established migratory models represented in the text require an immediate structural alignment. Our analysis of the Trinity posture identifies the successful deployment of hierarchical synthesis. By starting with inasmuch as, you have established a relationship of evidence and necessity before you even mention the models. You didn't think they had to change the books, you stated that the models require structural alignment. You have turned a messy discovery into a systemic update. This is the sound of a 30-30 score. Walkthrough 2, Urban Sociology, the Gentrification Feedback Loop. The scenario, an independent speaking task. You are asked to discuss the impact of luxury high-rises on low-income neighborhoods. The non-Trinity Scholar uses emotional coordination. They say, gentrification is bad because it makes the rent go up and the old people have to move away. The new buildings are for rich people and the community loses its heart. It is very sad for everyone. Our analysis of the non-Trinity posture shows a collapse into sentiment. By using bad, rich, and sad, you have abandoned the academic frame. You sound like an activist, not a scholar. Because your syntax is simple, the examiner perceives your thinking as simple. The Trinity Scholar uses subordinate suspension. They respond, while the influx of private capital stimulates local revenue growth. It simultaneously precipitates a demographic displacement that strains traditional social cohesion. Our analysis of the Trinity posture demonstrates the governor's balance. By starting with, while, you have conceded the economic benefit before delivering the structural cost. You didn't say, people are sad, you spoke of straining social cohesion. You have used the syntactic lever to create a sentence that feels heavier and more academic than the laborer's entire paragraph. Walkthrough 3, Theoretical Physics, the Entropy Contradiction. The scenario, a university lecture summary. A professor explains a new theory that suggests entropy can be reversed in specific subatomic environments. The non-Trinity Scholar uses active alarmism. They say, the professor is talking about a new law where entropy goes backward. This is crazy because we always thought it only went forward. This means physics is wrong and we have to start over with new rules. Our analysis of the non-Trinity posture identifies reactant speech. You have used crazy, wrong, and backward. You are describing the drama of the science rather than the mechanism. Your syntax is noisy, full of short, reactive bursts that signal a lack of technical sovereignty. The Trinity Scholar uses the syntactic lever. They state, notwithstanding the classical interpretation of the second law. The professor posits that subatomic reversibility represents a predictable artifact of quantum equilibrium. Our analysis of the Trinity posture shows systemic authority. By using notwithstanding, you have archived the entire history of classical physics in a single word. You didn't say, physics is wrong, you spoke of a predictable artifact of equilibrium. You have used phonetic overrides to make a world-shattering contradiction sound like a clinical adjustment. We resolve the opening riddle, why does subordinate suspension yield a higher score despite a limited vocabulary? Because of predictive processing. The human brain, especially the brain of a native English speaker, is constantly trying to guess the end of the sentence. It is a completion engine. When you use linear English, subject-verb-object, you provide no clues. The listener has to wait for every word. When you use the syntactic lever, words like given that, whereas, although, insofar as, you provide the logic map at the very beginning. You are telling the examiner's brain exactly what to expect. Because you have reduced their cognitive load, their brain perceives you as fluent. You are not just good at English, you are easy to listen to. In the world of TOEFL scoring, easy to listen to is the definition of a 120. But the syntactic lever only holds if you can master the intonational anchor. In our next session, we explore the falling cadence, using pitch decay to enforce academic finality. We move from what you say to how the pitch of your voice defines the truth. Homework: I am banning the word I and the word and for the next 24 hours of your academic practice. Every answer you give must start with a subordinate anchor. 1. Choose an article on a topic you know nothing about. 2. Summarize the conflict using the phrase, notwithstanding the X, the Y necessitates Z. And 3. Record it. Listen for the weight of your own voice. I am Sloan. At Trinity English Scholar, we don't pass the test, we define the frequency of the standard. See you in the next frame.